Backyard Bee Builder here. I'm just doing a quick video on growing your own garlic. I love garlic. It has a lot of great benefits to it. It can be an antiviral, antibacterial, and I love fresh garlic in my food. Right here I have my garlic that I planted. Garlic is best planted in the early fall, and the reason behind that is that it usually takes extra time for it to grow. You won't be able to harvest it, or it won't get very big if you plant it in the springtime. So here are, hello kitty, here are some seeds that I got off. If you look here very closely, these are some seeds or starts that I got off of my garlic in the summer. Every summer it comes up with a little ball of seeds, and these are some, and these are what I plant. Right after I harvest my garlic, I plant these back in the ground. You can see here that these have already come up, and these are kind of small seeds. Sometimes you'll get bigger ones that are more, you know, around the size of a nickel, and they'll obviously grow to be bigger. The biggest issue with this is that you need to make sure that you plant them far apart. If you plant them too closely, the bulbs won't be able to get big enough, and you won't be happy with your harvest. So these will come up right now, and of course winter's coming on, and we're not going to have a lot more growing season. But as winter comes on, these will die back, and then next spring they'll come up with a fury. You know, they'll come up and just be ready to go and really set off. Now what happens is that these stalks will come up, they'll grow up, and they'll have a seed pod on the top of them. And when that seed pod is about to break apart, you cut it off and you harvest it, and that's where you'll get these seeds, the seeds to plant for your next harvest. But then you don't harvest your bulb yet. Now the part of the garlic that you eat is under the ground, and so you don't harvest it, but once the entire stalk turns brown, and it's going to get all dried out, and you're going to think it's dying, and it's going to look very similar to this, you know, just dried out and dead, and once it gets brown all the way down to here, then it's time to harvest. That's when I harvest mine, at least. You dig it up, I tie them up, and I hang them up in my cellar, and I'll show you that a little bit later. But I love having garlic around, and let's show you what the finished product looks like. So just a little bit more explanation on the seeds that come off of the garlic. I ended up with a lot more seeds than I needed. With the garlic I harvested, I just had a whole bunch, and so I didn't want to just waste them, but I didn't have anywhere to plant them at the time. A big thing with them is that if you are going to save them or set them aside for later, you need to store them in a container that's not airtight. If you look here, this is actually an old compression sock I had, or like a nylon sock that I store them in, and it's clear full of seeds. You can see here that it's just got all kinds of seeds in it, and I'm getting ready to plant them now before the weather turns. I did not get them planted other than this, what I have here, early enough, and so I'm going to see if I can plant them here, and I think later in the fall I should get a second harvest of them. Here I am in my cellar, and you can see this is my garlic that I harvested. You can see that it just comes out in bulbs. You tie it together and let it dry out. It's really nice. It keeps it fresh there, and it doesn't go bad. I've had this for several months sitting here, and if you look carefully right here, you can see that there's still green growing on it. It's very still alive. It's very nutritious for you that way, but it makes a great treat. And you can see, you break it open, and there you go. You have your great fresh garlic cloves right there, ready to use in any of your meals.